Apparo Solutions. ExcelHub. Welcome to the second part of our hands-on series. In this video, we create an Excel file import app with the following features: complex data validation, detailed auditing, and data change history. We start again with the creation of the table business case, and select our prepared target table. At the first start, widgets of type input field are created for all existing table columns, and the feature list appears. We activate the required features later, one after the other. The first four widgets are our primary keys. This can be set directly here in the overview. Product ID and line ID are lookups. I set up the line ID as an example. I change the widget type to lookup drop-down for all tables. Then I select the lookup table and set lookup key and output column. We have here output columns for English and German. Apparo can automatically output the column of the user's language. For this we use the language variable. At runtime it is translated, for example into EN, and the output text of the column, product line name EN, is read. In the widget plan year, the current year shall be written automatically during the Excel import. To achieve this, we set the date variable as a constant value in insert case. Variables can be simply selected via the variable picker. In the next step, we set the widget to be read-only, because the content is automatically calculated with the date variable. I'm now working on the other widgets. We'll make a cut at this point. We've already shown the necessary steps once. I have changed some titles here, made product ID a lookup widget, and added a calculation for Office ID. Just like Office ID, the department will be calculated from the user's security groups, and added here as constant value. The calculation is done in these prepared variables. We will deal more with the subject of variables in part 3 of our hands-on video series. We now save our progress, and activate the data history feature. With this feature, nothing is overwritten or deleted. A new row is just saved and marked as current. First, we choose the row group. This serves to identify the history unit, and usually consists of the primary key widgets. Then we set the columns for time resolution, valid from and to, and the column for the current flag. We store quickly, and then make the last setting. The history feature requires the valid from column as part of the primary key. Additionally, the variable current date must be the constant value in insert and update case. Since the date format must match the selected time resolution, to work correctly, we set the output type to date with time, medium. Time for a test run. I just move the flag widget, and unhide these two. All we have to do is to enter the product and product line, the plan values for the year and the quarters. All other values will be calculated. We have created a row. This is marked as current. Let's see what happens if we change the plan values. A new row has been created and marked as current. The old row remains untouched. Next we will add the feature detailed auditing. We will activate it under features. We already know simple auditing from the previous hands-on video. Both can be used together. Detailed auditing requires its own database table. You will certainly remember the description mode function. Here you will find create scripts for the most important databases. We select the prepared table, and then assign the columns to the corresponding entries. Username stores the username, and date column stores the timestamp. The state column stores the status, update, insert, or delete. The row edit type can be, for example, manual, or Excel import. As custom value, we will store the calculated department. The target table column stores the name of the underlying database table. And the business case identifier column, the name of the used application. The SQL statement column stores a copy of the used SQL command. And the summary stores an overview of all activities. Since the plan numbers are the only values which the user enters and possibly changes, we also store the old and new values for this purpose. Time for another test run. Changing some values. Nothing to see here. Let's check the content of the audit table. We create a simple table view for this purpose. Everything is stored, old and new values too. The next feature we want to add is the Data Row Validator. It allows custom warnings or error messages, and can calculate single values, or several interdependent values. The Data Row Validator uses simple JavaScript for the definition. Under the question mark, you will find some usage examples. We assign the columns we want to compare to variables. Then we enter an empty result text, which means everything is okay. Then we compare the amount per year with the sum of all quarters, and create the result error message. The second check shall return an error message if the amount per year is empty or 0. The syntax check indicates whether everything is okay. A wrong bracket was set here. Time for another test run. We enter a new row of data, and try to generate the first error. The error message comes in, and we can correct the wrong value. For the second error, we will edit the values of an existing entry. It works, and does not allow us to enter a wrong value. Last but not least, the main feature of our Excel file import app. The Excel file import. We activate it under Features. We have the following settings here. Header row count, this is the number of rows to ignore. Error file format. Excel file name, allows to restrict the import to certain file names. Excel sheet name, let you select the Excel sheet. The file dialog text, and the mapping. The mapping connects the Excel columns with the corresponding table columns. Columns with calculated or fixed values do not require a mapping. Let's map the 5 plan value columns. Done. Time for the final test run. We set the checkbox for import only here, and then create a portal link for our business user. We log in as Adam Smith. And start the just created Excel file import app. I've prepared this small test file, with 2 rows and all mapped columns. One row was successfully imported, and the second one triggered our data validity check. The file import can easily handle millions of rows. For a free 60 days trial, and more information, visit us on Apparo-ExcelHub.solutions.